Alright, so welcome back to my channel. I'm Sue with Homesteading with Sue. And today I am going to do a whole bunch of things with onions. First off, I'm going to slice them so that I can put some in the freezer. I'm going to do some caramelized onions and dehydrate them. And I'm going to do some diced so I can put them in ice cube trays to make them easier to use when I need them. So I don't know how many onions I have here, but I'm going to go ahead and, I know you guys know how to slice onions and peel them, so I didn't think you needed to see that. You probably don't need to see me watch me do this in the food process either, but oh well. Okay, so I have it on 5. Apparently, something's wrong here. There we go. Okay, so that looks full. So I'm going to go ahead and dump it into this other bowl over here. See how they sliced? So I'm going to keep on going, and when I'm ready to start the next step, I will show you. Alright, so I have, I'm ready to start the caramelized onions. And it says you need 1.5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I do not have unsalted butter in my house, so it's going to be 2 tablespoons of salted butter. 1 pound of yellow onions. This is 1.02. A teaspoon of fresh thyme. And then it says to add 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm not going to add it because my salt is in my butter. And then it says 1/8 teaspoon ground black pepper for the ingredients. And then the instructions say, add the oil and butter to a medium-large skillet over medium heat. 1/2 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil and 2 tablespoons of salted butter. Once the butter is melted, add the onion, thyme, salt, and pepper. Cook until the onions start to turn brown in spots, about 5 minutes. Stirring occasionally. Add a splash of water as necessary if the onions start to stick to the pan or if the pan starts to get too dark. It says store caramelized onions in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to a week or in the freezer for up to 3 months. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to make onion powder out of them. I thought that would be something cool to do. So I'm going to go ahead and move you over to the stove. Okay, so I have my pan getting warm. I'm putting in 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, or approximately actually. I need my 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to let that let the butter dissolve. Actually melt, sorry, not dissolve, melt. And once the butter's melted, we're going to add the 1 pound of onions. Alright, so that's dissolved. So now I'm going to add the onions. And then I'm going to add the 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme. I'm not adding the salt, and I'm going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to go ahead and keep this stirred so it doesn't stick. And let it cook for about 5 minutes. Till it starts to turn brown in spots. Then after that, we're supposed to stir frequently, by the way. After that, we will turn down the heat to low and cook them for 15 minutes. And I'm going to actually let them cool a little bit before I put them on my dehydrator trays. So I should probably find something to put them in. I have a whole bunch of onions to process. That's why I'm doing a day of processing onions. Still waiting for them to start to turn brown. All right. Well, it looks like they're starting to brown to me. I know it's been over 5 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to low. I'm going to go ahead and let it, I'm going to put a lid on it. And then we'll cook 15 more minutes. And then we need to add a splash of water if they're burning to the pan. We will stir them occasionally. And I'll be back when the 15 minutes is done. All right, so we have just about 6 minutes left on these. They're looking good. I just wanted to show you that. Is there anything that you guys would like to see me demonstrate for you? I'm more than happy to do so. All right, so just a second, you'll hear my timer go off. And then I'm going to turn the heat off. This is what they look like. I'm going to put them on a plate. I'm going to end up doing 4 batches of these. Hopefully that is enough to fill up my 8-tray dehydrator. If it's not, then I'll worry about that later. So I'm going to go ahead and get these on a plate to hopefully get them to cool off. And then we'll start on my next project. Well, actually, then we'll start on my next project. All right, so I think that the first caramelized onions are cool enough that I can put them on my dehydrator tray and start putting them in the dehydrator. I set up the dehydrator at 122 degrees for 14 hours. Not sure how long it's going to take. So I'm just going to go ahead and spread these out on this tray. Might need more than one tray, I'm not sure. I hope this works. Kind of want to get them kind of thin on there so that they don't stick together too bad. I'm going to go ahead and put these on this tray, and then when the other ones come out, I'll add them to them once they've cooled off. Which, of course, the second batch of onions looks a lot better than the first batch that I did. So I will show you what they look like when they're done. Alright, you see how much better these look? So I wonder if the third batch is going to look even better. Alright, so I got 3.5 trays of the caramelized onions. I'm not sure if they're going to work right or not because they're awful greasy, and I don't think that's going to work very well. But the rest of the trays, the other 4 trays for the dehydrator, I'm just going to put in regular sliced onions. 4. And then I'm also going to do some, slice up the rest of the onions so that I can do them on the dehydrator later or just use them to cook every day. Again, I set my DENALI BEAST dehydrator to 122 degrees. I started it for, I don't know, 13 hours or something. I'll probably add to it because they probably won't be done. Anyway, get all these on there. And then I'm just going to slice the rest of the onions and put them in a bag and put them in the freezer. I'll be back. Alright, so I come back. This has been days later because of the greasiness of the caramelized onions. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but they do crunch. I am putting them in, except for this bag, these onions right here. I'm putting them in their own separate jar just in case they don't dry correctly and I don't waste all of my stuff that I did. Like I said, the regular onions were done within 12 hours, but the other ones were not done, so I just cut them all in the dehydrator so I could just do it all at once. It didn't hurt the regular ones to do that. These are still pretty greasy. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to dry. I mean, how they're going to work in the jar to condition them. And I'll wait the 7 days before I grind these up to go ahead and see how they're going to be. I'd rather be a little overcautious than ruin them by trying to grind them too early. Alright, so those are all done, and I'll go ahead and wash my hands, and then I'll show you how to do the other one. Okay, so I'm going to put a lid and ring on them. Remember, you leave enough room so you can move them around in there, which this is perfect. We're going to do that for like 7 days. I didn't want to use the same funnel because I wasn't sure if the oil would hurt the other onions. I'm not going to show you how to do all of these, but you can hear a crunch, so they're good. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And please leave me a comment on what you think. Thank you. Bye. Alright, as you can tell, I've already diced these up, but I'm going to go ahead and add some olive oil so that they stick together a little better in the ice cube trays. well, not line them, but fill them. Whoops, I kind of made them into mush, so they should stick together pretty good then. And we're just going to fill the ice cube trays with them, and they'll be easy to use right out of the freezer. Just put them into whatever you're cooking. And I only have 2 ice cube trays, so it's kind of a process, but that's okay. Or at least 2 ice cube trays to let the stuff come out pretty easy. Put it that way. And that's all for that. The ones I put in the ice trays and put in the freezer, they just need to stay in there long enough to get frozen so I can put them in bags. And I did a whole bunch more of the olive oil with the onions, so I can have several of those packages in my freezer. I'll be back when I'll be back. Alright, so a different way that I'm gonna preserve these onions is I'm going to cut them on a slicer and use them for either onion rings or dehydrate them later. I'm sure that there'll be other things I'll use them for, because let me show you how to do it. I have it like at a 4. See, if you mess up, it comes out really thin, but see, these will make awesome onion rings. Alright, so that's another way I'm going to preserve it. I mean, I'm going to put them in plastic freezer bags to keep them in the freezer. And I might just leave them just like this so they have more integrity. But I'm not sure. So, this is just 2 onions. When I'm any other ideas that you might make a thought for saving onions? I still have a lot. Thank you.